Hello everyone, welcome to She Gets Sit Down. I'm Tony and this is Sonna. We've got a slightly different take today. We're doing Am I the Asshole dog version. So if you don't know about this, this is where we read a story and then we come together and we decide whether the person was an asshole or not for how they dealt with the situation.
That's it.
I don't know what these ones are, so
It'll be a surprise for Tony,
It'll
so
be
we
a
get a
surprise for
real
me.
response. And I'll just start reading them.
yeah.
Alright, am I the asshole for asking for the dog to be put in another room after being jumped on? I went to a party at an acquaintance's house this past weekend with my wife. This is a friend that I've met a few times. I was invited, but I would not say I know this person well. They had a German Shepherd that I didn't know about that as soon as I opened the door came out of nowhere and full on jumped on me, paws on my chest. I nudged the dog away and told it to fuck off. I almost got immediately yelled at by the host to not be an asshole to their dog. I was like, your dog just jumped on me. I don't want it jumping on me. I asked if they could put it in another room so it doesn't happen again. The host told me absolutely not, this is the dog's house too. I told my wife we are leaving. I told everyone have a good night party and noped out of there. My phone's been blowing up from multiple people and the host reached out saying how I treated his dog was really inappropriate. I'm still hearing about this 4 days later, which is crazy to me. Am I the asshole?
No, you're not the asshole.
Oh my
Absolutely
God.
not. I think we're going to get a lot of hate for that one because there's a lot of people that are like, oh, well, it's my dog's house. Absolutely not. I'm sorry.
That
but
was
I should be able to
so rude.
Yeah, I should be able to come into a house without your dog jumping all over me. And if someone asks, especially if they don't know you, it's another thing. It's not even someone that they know as well, but this person's just letting their dog jump all over someone that they don't know. Who
And
may have
it's a
been,
German Shepherd.
yeah, it's a massive dog. Also, this person could have been bitten by a dog in the past or something and isn't comfortable with dogs. Honestly.
I feel like this is a very common thing that you see on social media, right? If you don't like dogs, then don't come to my house. Like, I feel that that's so rude. Someone might be a bit hesitant of dogs, and yes, the house is of your dog, but it is something for a dog to be excited and do a greeting, or a German Shepherd to jump up and put the paws on your chest.
Yeah.
First of all, that's terrible manners and impulse control for the dog. It's intimidating as fuck, because that means that the dog's face is right in your face. And if you're not very big, it could easily push you over as well.
And also, you don't know the dog at all. If a dog just jumps up and puts their face right in your face, how the hell are you supposed to know?
Fuck that.
Yeah.
I mean,
no.
if that was me, if I was going to a friend's house and I'm the dog trainer, even I would have said, you need to put your dog on a lead. And I think it's reasonable for the person to say, put the dog away. And if the owner didn't want to do that, I'd be like, okay, but can you then at least put a leash on the dog?
Yeah.
I think this is like one of those typical ones where the dog is totally untrained and we just excuse the behavior because it's the dog's house.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's just the same as if you were coming to someone's house and your kid just starts screaming in your face and everything. Are you going to let your child just do that?
Yeah.
And maybe even jump all over someone. Say your kid was on the couch and they jumped at someone and jumped at them. It sounds like an extreme example, but it's literally the same thing.
I'm just surprised that everyone is blowing up his phone over it. Bro, I mean, should the guy have said... I wouldn't have appreciated if someone would be swearing at my dog.
No.
Totally a bit of an asshole about that.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's unreasonable at all to say like, hey, can you get your dog out of my face?
Absolutely. And
That's
that
so
might have been a
manners.
bit of an issue with it, is the way that it was dealt with. But also, if my dog jumped up, not that she does, but say like on a random one that she jumped up and like, oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Like, how are you not apologetic?
Yeah.
Like, how are you not like, oh my god, I'm so sorry? Like, to be so entitled that you blame the person coming to your house, that just makes no sense to me.
But we're also in a day and age where dogs are actually excused a lot for their behaviours, because God forbid we say no to our dogs because we're going to give them
Exactly.
anxiety and depression. and a whole lot of issues, and we're going to break down our relationship with them if we say no. So now people will never tell off their dogs. They're allowed to do whatever they want. But then if you envisioned it that your kid was doing the same thing, you'd be mortified.
That is just crazy. I just find that so bizarre. Well, we have decided the guy's definitely not an asshole.
No.
The German Shepherd owner is, for not realizing that their dog was rude. It kind of comes back to your dog might be friendly, but it doesn't mean they're well mannered.
And like we said, the guy could have approached it differently. But I guess in the spur of the moment, sometimes you say things that you don't, that maybe when you look back you're like,
well, you got a fright.
You got a fright.
I respond really fiery when I get a fright. You would probably not be surprised by that. No, but
I'd be very surprised if you're like, oh, it's okay.
No, that's not me.
Yeah, that is not you at all. No.
Not me at all. So cool, let's go to the next one.
Yep.
This one is a bit longer. Am I the asshole for not inviting my sister to my wedding because she always brings her dog? He's a male, 26 years old. Wedding is coming up in a few months and I've been busy with all the planning. One of the issues I've run into is my sister, who's 28, and her dog. My sister is obsessed with her dog, a large and somewhat poorly trained Bernese mountain dog. Cute but a demon. She takes it everywhere with her, including family gatherings, despite the fact that many of us asked her not to. For context, her dog has caused a lot of problems in the past. At my cousin's wedding, her dog knocked over an elderly guest and tore up some of the decorations. No. At our family's holiday dinner last year, it ate part of the turkey off the table when no one was looking. My sister always brushes it off, saying her dog is just energetic and friendly. When I send out my wedding invitations, I decided not to invite her dog. Who does that? You wouldn't put it on a wedding invite, would you? That's crazy.
I think he's just trying to make it really blatantly clear that the dog is definitely not coming to this wedding.
That's nuts. I know she will bring it anyway if I just ask her not to. So I told her that she can't bring the dog, and if she does, she won't be allowed in. My sister was furious and said that if a dog isn't welcome, she isn't coming either. She accused me of not caring about her happiness and making her choose between her family and her dog. My parents think I should just let her bring the dog to keep the peace, but my fiance and I are firm on this. We want our wedding to be a calm and beautiful day without any chaos. I've tried to compromise by suggesting she find a pet sitter for the day, but she refused and insists that her dog is part of the family. Am I the asshole for not inviting my sister to my wedding because she always brings a dog?
You know who this person is? She's a child that's always gotten everything that she has wanted.
Probably.
That parent's exact statement, if you're willing, you should
It's
just keep the peace. Absolutely
Fuck
not.
that.
Fuck that. If she does not want to leave her dog at home for one day to celebrate your day,
then what
piss
the fuck
off.
is wrong with you though?
How unhealthily attached are you to this fucking dog?
Exactly. This is like the perfect example of your dog shouldn't come everywhere with you. There is a time and a place. Some things are not dog suitable. How does she go to work?
She probably works from home. But it's even the extreme that the dog isn't even well behaved. It's not even like it's a nice, well behaved.
Yeah, like an emotional
dog.
support dog.
Yeah, you
It's
know, like obviously you have things like that, but it's not like it's a dog that just comes in really quietly and everything. They probably would be not so worried about it. It's the fact that I was going to say, why doesn't he just ask for her not to bring the dog? But clearly she just does it anyway. Doesn't care that anyone else. That's so rude.
Knocked over an elderly guest and tore up some of the decorations, bro. I would have drop kicked that dog. If that was my wedding and you would have knocked over grandma and
Poor grandma.
I would have gone ballistic, man. And I love dogs. I love dogs. Obviously, that's why we're here. But there is a time and a place, and a wedding, unless your dog is well behaved and it's the ring bearer, you have no place at the wedding. And your sister needs to fucking grow up.
But even any event, if someone doesn't want your dog to come, they're allowed to not have your dog there.
Yeah.
But also, like, if the other thing is, if someone doesn't want my dog there, of course I'm not going to want to bring them, because then they're not welcome. Then you're just going to be on edge. Why would you want to bring your dog somewhere where they're not welcome?
Right. It's so crazy. Like, she actually goes and says, you don't care for her happiness. Like, it's my wedding. It's not about you.
But also, how unhealthily attached are you that you get so
So
unhappy that you're away
unhealthy.
from your dog for like what?
A few hours?
8 hours maybe at a, like that's giving a generous amount of time.
That's crazy. This is unhealthy. If you're disattached to a dog, you need to go and find either a therapist
You need some therapy.
and a dog trainer to teach you separation from your dog in a healthy way, or you need a therapist and a dog trainer to teach your dog at least how to be a well-behaved dog if you really insist on taking it into public.
Absolutely.
Don't excuse the behavior as energetic and friendly. Like that's not okay.
What did we literally just say in the last one? Everyone excuses their dog's behaviour and how dare they be told off ever.
Exactly.
It seems to be like a whole thing with this one.
Entitlement.
But also, I just think that this person's always gotten what they want
totally.
as well.
The whole keep the peace thing. I never understand that. I mean, I know I'm a confrontational person, so keep the peace.
It's
really
not in your
makes-
DNA. It's just not in your DNA.
It's not in my DNA. Like, I mean, I've done that before. I'm not that bad at reading a
But this
situation.
is pretty extreme.
Exactly.
But also, is this guy always the child that's always been made to compromise? Like this is
Probably.
this is like one of the biggest days in his life, and his parents are choosing to side with his older sister who's having just a bloody child tantrum.
That's just,
This guy has been the compromiser in their family.
which is crazy for the younger kid.
Yeah, I know, right?
Usually it's the older kid that has to compromise.
Yeah.
So I think it's clear.
Asshole.
Not the asshole.
Sorry. The sister's an asshole.
The sister's
He's
an
not
asshole.
an
He's not the
asshole.
asshole. Am I the asshole for refusing to take any responsibility for my dog until my wife was forced to rehome him? I am going to lay this out in the most basic way I can. I work from home, as does my wife. She wanted a dog. I said we did not have enough time to take care of a dog. She pestered me until I agreed. We took our time and found a rescue that had several pups that met our criteria. Small, adult, requiring just a couple of short walks a day. They did home visits and stuff. It was taking a while, and during that time my wife found a farm that had a working blue heeler cross border collie pups. She got me one for my birthday. I had one just like her when I lived at home with my parents. She is a beautiful puppy, but not in any way what we agreed on. We live in an apartment with no yard. My parents have an acreage. I am very busy. I do not have time for all the training and exercise that she needs. I told my wife thanks, but no thanks, and she refused to listen to me. So I just refused to bond with the pup. I didn't even name her. I told my wife I would make sure that the pup was fed and got 2 half-hour walks a day since that's what we agreed on. Everything else was on her. It took 2 weeks of barking, chewing and pooping until she rehomed the pup. Now she's mad that I manipulated her into doing what I said we should do to begin with. She said she thought I would love a puppy that was like my old one. If we had the space and time for her, I would have. I am pissed that I had to do this. I feel bad for the dog. I'm thinking of not even doing the rescue now that I know more about how my wife thinks. That's kind of heartbreaking.
That's quite sad. I actually can see where he was coming from. He actually was willing, because she wanted a dog. So he's like, well, we need to compromise and make the right decision for a dog. So it wasn't like he never said that he didn't want a dog.
But he wanted a very specific dog to their lifestyle.
And they found a rescue, and they found the right dog. And then she just went on her own weird little tangent and got a completely different dog without consulting
like
them.
the most energetic dog that you can get. When they wanted just like a small adult floof.
No, I kind of agree with him. But I mean, really, if he tried and he wasn't happy, then you're years down the track and you're resenting this dog and your partner.
I think this is the perfect post for what we say all the time as dog trainers. Pick a dog that fits your lifestyle.
Yeah.
And
not just one that you want because you like that kind of dog.
And because it's cute and because it was taking a while for the rescue to respond. You gotta have this dog for the rest of his life. Why can't you wait an extra week or 2 weeks to see if that dog was available or not available? You know that one. It's just I'm actually quite impressed with him sticking to his guns.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot more issues going on in that relationship though.
That's a whole different
yeah,
story.
but I don't think he's the asshole at all. I think if anything, he's actually done the dog a blessing. To be fair,
Oh,
if he
totally.
really,
I think it was super realistic of saying like, look, we are not the right house for this dog. And how often do we see it that owners have a dog that I'm like, how did you end up with this breed? Because this is the most unsuitable breed for you.
Yeah.
Like the dog doesn't get enough exercise, or it's just too powerful, or it's, you know, like someone recently emailed me that they have a German short-haired pointer and they're having problems because it's hunting prey. I'm like, well, what did you expect? You know, it's like, it's that kind of thing. And this guy clearly knew exactly that he couldn't give that dog the life that they wanted. Who has a blue heeler and border collie in an apartment and you can only walk them twice for 30 minutes a day? I think it's good that he did it, but it's awful that that's
the situation needs to be put in. But also he did say, like, he met all the dogs. Even then, the 2 half-an-hour walks a day weren't going to be enough, but he made sure, like, obviously he had food and everything.
That's it.
So he wasn't a complete arsehole that he completely neglected the dog, but he's just like, if you want this dog, it's all on you now. And she was so stubborn, and then obviously and so she was so determined and it didn't work out the way it was supposed to.
But then, you know, at the same time, like, what does it say about her? He clearly didn't want to put the work in, but neither did she.
That's actually another thing you could, is when you go and get a dog with someone, it's like having a make sure it's actually someone that you're on the same page and you respect each other's opinions as well. Like, I think that comes.
It's like raising a child, right? If you're complete opposites, you're gonna have problems.
So I feel like there's going to be issues in that relationship later on. But I don't think he's the asshole at all. I think she's the asshole.
Yeah, that's kind of sad. Luckily, the puppy has a new house. I think, did they? I can't remember if I made that up.
Well, he would have eventually. It was a cute blue heeler puppy. He would have found someone else that wanted a blue heeler puppy.
That's it. Alright, well, that was our first episode of Am I the Asshole? We would love to know if you agree with us. Do you think all of these people were or were not assholes? We really enjoyed doing this, so we'll probably do this again. If you ever find a good one you want us to respond to, send it to us. And then we'll see you next time.
Like and subscribe.
See ya.